So you're thinking you want to run a 50K and you've never run a distance like that before. This video is here to provide you with real life advice, a training plan, nutrition tips, and gear recommendations to help you be successful with your 50K. And stay till the very end because I have a really great piece of advice that's going to help you stay focused throughout your entire training period. You can do this because I have. This plan will work. Hey everybody, this is Jessie with Running for Everyone, your place for running community, tips, advice, motivation, and real-life running stories that help you reach your running goals. Please click like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you can get updates of our weekly videos. So how do you train for a 50K? Well, I use my marathon training as a basis to jump up to the 50K mileage. So I typically will include a marathon run in my 50K training plan and then just run that 50K about 4 weeks after my marathon day. So my whole buildup is from 0 miles all the way through to a marathon race day and then adding another 4 weeks to that to get to the 50K race. So that's how my plan looks. I really like having a race in my training plan because it really helps keep me motivated. It's nice to have the people out there cheering for you as one of those long training runs as you prepare for your 50K. So that's my basis for training for the 50K. So a second thing that you're going to want to consider as you are preparing and doing your training for the 50K is what the venue is going to look like. Is it going to be hilly? Is it going to be at a different altitude? What will the weather be like? All of these things are really important factors for you to prepare for as you are training for the 50K. So your training will happen over a number of months, so you will probably experience all different kinds of weather conditions. So that's going to be great. You want to pay attention to what it's like when it's raining, when it's colder, if it's hot. So again, whatever the 50K training day is going to be like, you may not know the weather specifically, but you're going to know what the climate generally is going to be. You want to be sure that you've prepared for that and you're not facing it for the first time. You know what layers to wear. If it's raining, what kind of gear you're going to want to have for that. If it's at a different altitude, you want to have prepared yourself a little bit for that as much as you possibly can. What does my 50K training week look like? Well, I've got a link below to my specific training plan. There's also a nutrition guide and gear guide, so you're welcome to take advantage of that if you're interested. But for me, I like to run 4 days a week. My training plan shows 5 days a week, but I have kind of evolved it through the years to have a 4-day-a-week training plan. Really important for me is, I believe, important for the 50K is running a back-to-back weekend run. So I do my longest run on Saturday and I do kind of an easy run after that on Sunday. So those back-to-back miles give you an opportunity to run on legs that are pretty tired, and that's important for a 50K because it's going to be a distance that you haven't gone before, and you want to be sure that you are both mentally and physically prepared to be running on very, very tired legs. So my training week typically is 4 days of running, 1 day of cross training. I'll do a long run middle of the week, maybe some hill training middle of the week, and then those back-to-back long week runs. 1 day of cross training, and then of course 2 days of rest. Rest is really important. So that's what my typical training week looks like. So another thing to think about that's really important and to train for is what you eat and your nutrition during both your training runs and for the 50K race day. So for me, I like to start carrying, I do carry food with me. I like to carry food, some sort of nutrition with me as I run. Some people don't. And again, so this is a very, very personal thing, but for me what seems to work is when I start to get to 10 to 12 miles in training distances, I will start to carry with me some light nutrition. For me, that typically is a couple of gels. There's a certain kind that I like that sits well with my stomach. So you want to try that out. Some people like the little pretzel sticks, waffles, gummy bears, those sorts of things. Whatever works for you. As I get to longer mileage, I like real food. So for me, I will actually even make like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and I'll cut it into little pieces, maybe make one sandwich into 10 or 8 to 10 pieces, and then I can take a little piece and eat that. For me, it sits on my stomach a little bit better than just doing gels. It's a little more substantial, so I really like that. I will start to do that when I get to maybe 18, 20 plus miles on my training runs. You will have plenty of time during your training runs to test out what fuel works well for you. But for 50K, I really, really encourage you to practice this, because the extra miles of doing a 50K over a marathon really will require you to pay attention to your fuel. It's going to make a huge difference for you on your energy levels and having sustained energy and feeling good on race day. So this is a huge piece. Don't miss this one in your training plan. You may not want to eat, you may not feel like you need to eat, but do it anyway, because it will help you. It is really, really important on your 50K run day. The next thing that I want to talk about a little bit is your gear. So it's a personal thing again, as much as in running. I like to carry some gear. Some people that I run with don't even want to wear a GPS watch. So again, this is a personal thing that you're going to explore as you do your training. But for me, the main gear that I like to have with me on 50K race day, of course, are a great pair of shoes that are right at the perfect condition. So you don't want them brand new, you don't want them too old, you want them somewhere in the middle. Your shoes are going to, again, depend on the terrain. The 50Ks that I have run have been on trails, but they've been on kind of not a trail that is too tough, where I can still just wear my regular road shoes. So that's worked really well for me. So shoes. The next thing for me is I like to wear some sort of clothing that has big pockets, because I carry that sandwich, I carry some gels, I carry a bandana because my nose tends to run. Those are important to me. So having some pockets where I can carry gear that's easily accessible is really important to me. Next to that would be my GPS watch. I'm always wearing my watch. I like to keep an eye on it. I do run intervals typically, so my watch will help give me the cue for the intervals, and also it tells me how the mileage is passing and how far I have left to go, which is really a great thing, particularly as you're nearing the finish of your 50K. It's a great thing to know you only have 5 miles left, 3 miles left, 2 miles left. It's a huge motivator in my book, so I like that. And then I wear for my gear my hydration vest. That's really important for me, because I like to know that I have the fluid there with me. That's an important thing. I can also, my hydration pack has a little zippered pack, so I can take any gear that I end up not using and sticking it back there, or if I get too warm or too cold, I can carry it and have that gear with me at all times. So that's important for me as far as gear. And then I also like to wear a hat. I'm always wearing a hat when I run, so a hat for both the sun, for the rain, things like that. If it's cold, a warmer weather cap is what I wear. So those are my important pieces of equipment. The link below shares more details, both with regard to my specific nutrition and actually the gear that I wear. One other thing to think about, this is not technically gear, but super important to runners, super important on race day, and that is Vaseline. So I want to bring up Vaseline because Vaseline can really save you a lot of misery in the later miles of a run. Vaseline is great for preventing chafing, and so for me, I like to put some Vaseline on my feet. Helps prevent some blisters. I like to put some under the bottom edge of my sports bra, under my arms a little bit, anywhere where that movement of the running would create the friction of that fabric against my skin. You don't want to end up dealing with chafed skin, that sort of pain, the salt from sweat getting into that. It's just really bad. So think about using some Vaseline to protect your skin when you're running. It's another really, really helpful tip for race day. Okay, lastly, and maybe most important, is the advice I have is to remember your why. The why you are running this 50K is going to be really important to you to remember, particularly because your training plan is going to take you over a series of months. And you're going to have times where you're like, I am done, I don't want to run anymore, why did I think this was a good idea? All of those things, race day. You're going to be out there and you're going to be thinking, what the heck was I thinking? Why did I decide to do this goal? So keep in mind, maybe write it down on a piece of paper, put it on your mirror in your bathroom so you can see it every single day. Remember and remind yourself all the time, what was that deep down goal that you were hoping to find within yourself, that you were hoping to accomplish with running this 50K? That's really important to help keep you motivated throughout the entire time. So my last piece of advice is keep that front and center throughout this entire time, and you will find yourself making it to the start line because you will be motivated because of that why. So that's my advice to you for running a 50K and training for a 50K from scratch for beginners up to a 50K. But I want to know what's worked for you. If you're a runner and you're out there, you've had some experiences with training that have benefited you, great gear tips or nutrition tips that have worked for you, please comment below. We'd like to hear. Running is about community, and so this forum is here to help support each other and help keep each other motivated through these long training months and ultimately to achieving that great goal. And as I mentioned, I've attached a link below to my specific week by week, day by day training plan, as well as specific gear and nutrition tips. It's what I've used. I've refined it through the years, and I am certainly happy to share it with you. If you'd find it helpful, you're welcome to use it. So I hope you find it helpful. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get our weekly video updates. Running is about community, and so we are here to share tips, advice, real-life stories, and help motivate each other to our running goals. I'm so glad you're here with Running for Everyone, and I wish you a great day. I look forward to running with you.